Alright, we're live. Good morning, Euclid, Ohio, and everyone who's taken time to join us. We greatly appreciate it.
Wreck-It Ralph is wrecking the place right now.
Hey, we really appreciate you guys joining us last time and took very seriously the feedback on social distancing. We do take it seriously, and we're continually striving to set a good example. So today we will be absolutely social distancing.
We got
the tape measure here.
want to make sure. Oh, don't get feedback. I got to go 6 feet from your mouth to your mouth.
Okay.
To the mayor's mouth.
All right, Mayor, you're gonna have to move back a little bit. I think I'm a little close to you, but
Too close?
yeah, we were. Anywho, again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And again, we want to make this an interactive program, and we unfortunately had to change it from Coffee with a Cop to Quarantine with a Cop. We'll be moving forward that way.
Do you see it anywhere?
So, the couple of things I'd like to start off with, and then we're actually gonna interview the mayor here. She's taken the time to join us. We've got her via Zoom because she is practicing social distancing and is in a self-quarantine because she was down in Florida when all this kicked off. I'd like to thank some of our partners. Lincoln Electric, they sent us some face shields.
I don't think we're on.
I don't think we're on either.
I don't know.
Looks like. Oh yeah, we had somebody on. We're on.
All right.
Hey, we had some technical difficulties today, guys. I mean,
Yes.
This is like coming together last minute here. You know, I know it looks like CNN up here on the screen or Fox News on my part, but
Yeah, and shout out to Sergeant Oshevsky and Matt Mizak. They both worked very hard to get you guys connected with the mayor this morning. And you know what? That said, I think we'll just go into the
ladies and gentlemen,
the interview with the mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that people were very, very excited. There's a lot of questions that we were not able to answer last week. So, per popular request, live from quarantine via the Euclid Police remote, we have Mayor Kirsten Holzheimer-Gale. How are you doing today, Mayor?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Well, not too bad. Like I said, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. I know you got to experience them a little bit, but we're excited to have you on. Thanks for joining us here today. We appreciate
Happy
it.
to be here. Happy to be here. I am not quarantined because I have COVID. I was out of town. We had traveled. My son plays baseball for the College of Worcester, and they had their spring baseball season down in Florida. So we were down there. We've been back. I'm almost done with my 14 days, but I want to say thank you to all of our employees, our wonderful staff who, and luckily we can do a lot of things remotely today. Because hopefully our residents have not seen much lapse in service. So it's been difficult for everybody, but I really appreciate the hard work, the cooperation, the really creativity and innovation of all of our staff. Who really have helped to get through this.
Well, thanks
to you guys for this creative way to bring us Coffee with a Cop.
Well, you know what? It seems like a lot of people here have enjoyed it. We've been able to reach a lot more people than just going to our local businesses, and we're trying to figure out a way maybe that we could actually take this kind of remote broadcast to the library or to the coffee shops and other businesses and do this from there, so we can interact with the public and the people who can't make it there. So this may work out.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, Mayor, we've been getting a lot of questions, and I know, I don't know. You get people. I read the Euclid community pages and Euclid Crime Watch, and there's a lot of people. They share a lot of input, things that are going on in our city, and one of their concerns right now is people are concerned what is essential, what is a non-essential business, and what they're supposed to do about it. And I know they'll call the police department, but these are our taxpayers. This is our tax base, and we're not as a police department trying to go bust in the doors and arrest people. What are some things that people can do if they see businesses that they don't believe should be operating at this time?
Right. So the Board of Health, the Cuyahoga County Board of Health, is actually the one responsible for enforcing that. We have a local person who is responsible for Euclid, and the Board of Health does want to know if businesses are not following either precautions, or definitely if they're not essential but they're still operating. So residents should call the Board of Health. They have a hotline set up. That number is 216-201-2090. And they want to know. So we've had some calls in the mayor's office, places that are providing food, that food restaurants are able to continue to provide food, but they have to do it for takeout. A lot of them have gone to curbside pickup. And so this one particular business is doing takeout, but people were lining up inside and too close to each other, so people felt that was unsafe. And so that's one example. They're allowed to be open. We want our businesses to continue to provide service, and we need to remember to support them, but they were not practicing. They were not asking customers to stay 6 feet apart. So it's really important for all of us. I had another question about Dairy Queen. They're still open. People were going, but they were lining up too close together. And so, you see in some stores where they put a hash mark with tape or something to keep people 6 feet apart. It's really up to all of us to make sure we do everything we can to follow that social distancing. Stay 6 feet apart. Stay home. The first thing is stay home. If it's not important, if it's not essential, don't do it now. Wait. But if you do have to go out, you can go for a walk. Our playgrounds are closed, but the parks are open. Go for a walk, but stay 6 feet apart. If you have to go to the store, try to limit the number of times you go to the store. And if you go to the store, stay away from other people. So, I think the governor has not provided super strict guidelines on what's essential, what's not essential, but we all can do our part, and that's what's really critically important.
Well, thanks.
Local governments, for example, are essential. The work that we do, certainly our first responders are available as they always have. Our public service is working. We need to make sure the buildings stay operating, our wastewater treatment plant stays operating. So we've limited some of our staff who are working, but we've tried very hard to make sure the core services are available to all of our residents. But we're asking and really telling our employees who are working to follow that social distancing, wash their hands, use cleaners, clean common surfaces. So we've put things in place to protect our employees who are working to provide the core service. But again, going back to your question, sorry, I went on a little too far. The Board of Health is responsible. We don't want people calling the police or the fire unnecessarily. Now is the time to really, and you guys can address that probably better than I can, save our emergency services and first responders for those that are critically needed.
Well, thanks, Mayor. Appreciate that. That's really good information. I know it, as a police department, we've been trying to support our businesses that are open. I know that, like for instance, we have, last week Dunkin' Donuts provided us coffee. We had Watilla's Bakery. We had some bakery for today. We got Bagel Buddies, Diane down at Bagel Buddies. They've been real supportive, and Greg Lawrence at the Coffee House. We've been trying to do the best we can to support our businesses, the ones that are open. At this time, I guess, I don't know, I've been trying to follow along here to see if anybody in the community has any questions that they may have for you. I haven't seen a lot pop up.
If you have any
if I
questions,
can, Steve, our community has stepped up in so many ways. You've mentioned some of the businesses that have provided food, but we have businesses also that are providing personal protective equipment. Lincoln Electric, for example, called and said, we have extra face shields, the full face shields that cover, with the hard plastic covering.
Well, Mayor, Lincoln Electric also provided the police department with those full face shields. Also, that's
Right.
they've been a big supporter of equipment for us here at the police department.
Right.
So that you're
Right.
you're correct with that.
Right, Home Depot, Amazon's working to help when they get shipments of stuff provided. So we're making sure we reach out, and some of our businesses are really part of the effort in different ways. At Able Rents, for example, there's no events happening, so they are not busy doing that, but they've provided their tents, they've using their trucks to transport supplies, providing tents for the emergency healthcare response, and Guardian Technologies, who does air purifiers, are continuing. That's one element that they feel will help get us through this crisis, continuing to do their work. So we've got great examples of businesses. I know St. Robert and Williams and St. John of the Cross brought food to the hospital workers. You see handmade signs by some of our residents, thanking first responders and people who are working, and neighborhoods who have volunteered to deliver the Observer to help get the news out because people aren't going out. So really great examples across the city. I don't know if everyone saw on the news the 100th birthday, and you couldn't get out, so there was a street parade of people coming by to wish happy birthday. So great examples of people doing different creative things to stay connected.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. Again, I know, George, you have anything for the mayor right now at this time? I mean, I know she's still. You got to be pretty busy. I don't know. I mean, you got to be pretty busy. We're working at your house. I'm sure you're getting a lot of phone calls. I'm sure a lot of people on council. You have there's a lot of planning going on. So
Right.
we'll let you get back to your work. But we thank you very much, Mayor, for coming on today. And
one other plug, if I could. So tomorrow's supposed to be Census Day, and it's really critically important. While people are stuck at home, it takes like 5 minutes. You should have gotten a postcard in the mail and probably a letter by now. Fill out your census. It's really important for us to get the resources we need for the library, for the schools, for the city, and also for our representation in government. So it takes, like I said, 5 minutes. I did it. You can do it online. You can do it over the phone, or eventually you can fill it out by paper. Tomorrow, April 1st, is supposed to be Census Day. But really, if everyone could take 5 minutes, fill it out. Your information remains confidential. It's secure. It's safe, and it's really critical that each and every resident is counted. So just that final plug. And thanks to you guys for everything you're doing. Our first responders are second to none. We really appreciate all your hard work. Stay safe, be healthy, and everybody keep your distance and stay home.
hey, Mayor, one thing we got a question here from Maureen Sanders. She wanted to know. She said, "Will the mayor be doing robocalls? Some of our seniors are signed up but do not use the internet, so cannot watch Coffee with a Cop."
I think I've done at least 3 robocalls, during this time. So that's a great question, because we are doing our best. We've tried to step up the robocalls. We've done regular updates on the city website through the email exchanges, using our social media. So if you have not gotten those robocalls, please go to our website or call City Hall. Anyone can sign up for those. You can sign up for your cell phone. You can get it on your home phone. You should automatically get them on your home phone. If you do not have a home phone anymore, landline, then please log on and set up your cell phone so that you can get them. But I think I've done probably 3. The interesting one was that when the primary election got changed and stopped and started and stopped, I sent one out about 8 o'clock that then ended up not being accurate, because at about 10:30 that night they stopped the election. So we're doing our best. We're trying to help get as much information out as possible. The other reminder is just use credible sources. There's a lot of information out there. Again, there's the 1-800-ASK-ODH for any kind of a hotline for questions. There's, on our website, coronavirus.ohio.gov, the governor's dashboard. We're trying to put as much credible, good information on our city website as well.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor, and enjoy the rest of your day here. We'll see you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
right, you hit that. You want to hit that? There you go,
Cool.
Dave. All right, everybody. We were fortunate to have our mayor come on and talk with us today, fill us up, give us a lot of information that probably people didn't need. I didn't mean to say it like that. They did need. I'm sitting there looking at, guys, I didn't want to say anything. The mayor was talking. George, this thing is blowing up about your hair right now, man, because everybody's asking, with all the barbershops closed, how does George keep his hair? I'm not kidding you. This is, there's like a bunch of people here,
Don't
George.
touch your face.
I'm sure it's sweaty. My hands
No,
are clean.
it's
Thanks,
not.
Paul.
We got Kevin Kelly's on here. There's a lot of ladies. George, if I don't get to a barbershop soon, if these barbershops can't open, I'm gonna have you marine cut my hair because
Yeah, it's a good idea.
this gray is starting to. It grows like it's like 3 times the size of a normal hair, and it just grows straight out of my head. I got a lot of product in here right now. It doesn't even look like it.
Looks beautiful.
So we might have to go military style on me. Okay,
I'm all about it.
Okay, officer.
I think I'm definitely going to have to take you up on that because I'm starting to look a little shaggy.
Very well.
All right, should we jump back into our plan?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to real quick on corrections. The senior center is offering meals to those who can make it up to the senior center, drive by, pick up, basically, and they're still delivering to shut-ins. If you go on their website, I know for a time they weren't able to take on any more folks, but that would be on the city website where you find out the information regarding the senior center and meals. Some quick shout outs. We mentioned Lincoln Electric and the face shields. Thank you guys so very much. Tim, manager at our local Home Depot, was kind enough to bring in a box of N95 masks and some power drinks for the guys. It was awesome. We really appreciate that and need it. And Mike Oliver, apparently we got first responders have an open tab at the Lakeshore Coffee House.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Mike Oliver. Thank you, Mike. And
Well, we know that Scott and Tracy Lee Emick, they dropped off some Girl Scout cookies.
there you go.
Troop 70459. Thanks a lot for the cookies. I know that our police officers, we usually fuel up on our donuts, but the cookies were, not Officer George, but some of us like our sweets. And also
I never touch them.
Alicia out of Mission Barbecue. If any of you guys haven't been out there, I know it's not a local business, but Mission Barbecue over on 306, fantastic. We stopped in there, had lunch there one day. This place is something else. If you get a chance to get in there when this thing is all said and done, stop in there. Be there at noon. At noon, the whole restaurant stops. All the employees come out. They stand up. They do they sing the national anthem. It's all on all the screens. It's really, really impressive. And they stopped by last week and they dropped off a bunch of food for the guys. And
Just half of them.
we really, really, really appreciate what their support and their support of our military and first responders.
Coolio. I think next on the agenda today is the coronavirus catch up here with Officer George.
All right, so
Hey, Officer George, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
absolutely, dude. You've been doing a lot of talking. I don't want to slow you down.
Hey, if anybody out there, if you could share us on their Facebook, hit the share button, get it out there. We'll try to get this out to as many people as we possibly can. I'm a little bit behind on the times here, but if anybody can help us out and share this broadcast, we'd appreciate it. All right, George.
All right, coronavirus. What the heck? It's already on there.
We spell it wrong.
What the heck?
Apparently, we.
It's spelled right.
Oh, we missed it in.
Oh,
Quarantine.
whatever. Taliban.
All right. Well, thank you.
The
Thank
whole
you, guys.
joke
Good
was
looking out.
Handwritten, but yes. All right,
Nobody said cups.
coronavirus. Holy crap, man.
You can't say.
All right, there is over 800,000 cases right now worldwide. Positive numbers, over 172,000 people have recovered, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, almost 39,000 deaths worldwide. According to Ohio stats right now, we've got 1,933 confirmed cases. In Cuyahoga County, we have 493. That's the latest stat that I have, which is pretty crazy. Interesting thing, latest experts are projecting this to peak within 3 to 6 weeks, right? School closure as of right now goes out till May 1st. It was instituted on March 16th. That was just a couple weeks ago. So if
Feels
you do
like
the
forever.
math here, it
Feels
does
like forever
actually.
already.
Yeah, it's weird.
If we do those 2 weeks and we kind of measure this out, 3 to 6 weeks with a peak, we're looking at coming back down. Even if it's just 3 weeks to peak from where we are right now, we would not come out of this until May 25th, that's actually matching where we were when we closed school in the first place.
Wow.
If it peaks at 6 weeks, we're looking at mid-June, June 15th. So we're pretty far out. When we closed school on March 16th, we had 50 cases. As of today, 1,933. So that's pretty crazy. I'm not stepping on any toes, and I definitely don't want to delve into any politics stuff, but I can't see us going back to school or having any spring activities.
No.
It's not looking good.
Hey, George, Lisa Lanier, she said if people have the virus, they need to let the city EMT know. Is that something that the hospitals probably let people know?
So that's actually a really good question. If you are calling for services, right? Like let's say that they call the fire department, they need some kind of EMT assistance. Absolutely, please let our dispatchers know that you have been infected or you've been confirmed with, or even that you are showing symptoms that are related to the coronavirus. That way they know when they're arriving on scene and they can better prepare for how they're going to be able to help treat you and deal with things. But that's a great question.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Appreciate the question.
And
Yeah.
if you think you have symptoms, stay home. The healthcare workers, they prefer not to get exposed if you can take care of yourself. If you're in respiratory distress, make that call, get the ambulance there, get a ride to the hospital, and get taken care of.
I know Dr. Volk and her emergency department team down at Euclid Hospital have been very, very busy lately, but they're doing a fantastic job. I know you worked there. You were there last night, and it's pretty busy down there.
It is. We had a couple people come in and ask for the test, and I know from talking to folks around there that they have had many positive tests, and unfortunately, some of the healthcare workers there had to be quarantined because of exposure. So it's here. It's here. Unfortunately, we're dealing with it. So thank you guys who are doing your part and staying home. That's huge. That's going to make such a big difference when it comes to flattening that curve. Unfortunately, the number of cases are still going up, and I don't think we've seen the peak yet. I don't think we're on the downhill slide yet. Just from, I'm not a medical professional, but looking at what the medical professionals are
He
saying.
plays one on
Or if
television.
any of you guys were listening to what I just said, and you
There
would
you
know
go.
that the peak has been 3 to 6 weeks. So, going back to that,
There you go.
Jesus.
I like to pretend that he listens to me. He's my boss, by the way.
Occasionally, he comes out with some great ideas.
All right, we're,
Hey, you know
we're
what? Actually, let me. If you guys, what we're gonna do today is if you come up with a really good question for us, we'll call it the question of the day. We'll pick it at the end of the program, and we will send you guys a T-shirt.
Yeah, we'll figure a way to get it to you. Since some people we noticed that some people are watching us from Florida, some people are watching us from Arizona.
Yeah, Mail's still running.
Yeah, mail's running, but looks like a lot of part-time mailmen too. A lot of mail getting delivered into jeans these days. I haven't seen a lot of uniforms out there delivering the mail.
It's new PPE.
I guess it's time for some community news.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know that last week, well, here we go with, as Officer George says, with school being closed till at least May 1st, which, well, we probably think it's going to be longer. We want to, first of all, we want to remind you kids, any kids out there listening, I don't know if there is or if there's not, but school, the buildings are closed, school is not closed. So you need to be doing your distance learning and keeping up with your studies. With that being said, last week, Euclid High School passed out over 500 Chromebooks for people who needed access to internet, maybe don't have computers at home, but over 500 Chromebooks were passed out. There's going to be one final request for Chromebooks, and that's going on right now. So what people need to do is they need to go on the Euclid City Schools website at euclidschools.org, and if you go at the top, there's it's like a red area up on top. Click on that, and it gives you all your directions. Because what the information that I got yesterday, one final request ends Wednesday, so tomorrow, April 1st at 7 p.m. You can fill out the online form at, again, euclidschools.org, or if you don't have access to internet, now granted, you can use your cell phones, your smartphones, and everything for all this stuff, but if you don't have access to the internet, you can call the curriculum office. If you have a pen, if you need the information, call the curriculum office at area code 216-797-8793. What you're going to need to do is you're going to have to leave your student's name, first and last name, their grade, and then their lunch code. If you don't know, I'm sure your kids know what their lunch code is. That's what they use every day when they get their meals. Leave that information on there, and also leave the parents' information and a callback number so they can get back to you. They prefer the online forums, but if you don't have access to that, you may have to go ahead and call the number. And it's one Chromebook per household. If you got 3 kids, they can share. They'll have to take turns on that. As far as the meal program, Euclid continues to provide breakfast and lunches at all 7 of its school buildings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 9 a.m. till noon. That's all 7 buildings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. till noon. Now, I will say this: you stay in the car. Helpers will come out. They'll ask you, they're going to be far away. They're going to be like, how many? And you're going to be like, I need 5. And they'll bring them out to you. Now, if you don't have the kids with you, now we talked about this last week. If you don't have the kids with you, all you got to do is leave your name. They're going to write your name down. It's for auditing purposes, and they will give you. We want to make sure everybody gets something to eat down there. And I know I talked to Mr. Higley, and he said last week over 2,800 lunches and breakfasts were provided.
That's awesome.
Now, we sit there and we look at it doesn't seem like a lot of people are coming because you may get 15 or 20 cars pull up per day, but then you're at 7 different schools and they may be picking up for 3 or 4 people. It's actually something very, very good that these kids are they're getting to eat. And, when you see the same cars every day, these are people that that probably need the assistance. And that's what it's good for.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And speaking of food, I'm just going to interject real quick. This morning's snacks are provided by Diane, Bagel Buddies. She's at 200th Street and Lakeshore. We got some delicious donuts in there, and she's got some great bagels as well. Got a pretty complete menu here for breakfast, lunch, and it's good stuff. Thank you so much, Diane.
Yeah, thanks, Diane. It's always great to come in and see you. Stop
It is.
in.
We miss sitting down.
We miss sitting down, being able to eat in there, but we'll get back. We'll get back soon. There's Deborah Drobnik says Irie Jamaican Kitchen reopens tomorrow, 4/1. She said no joke. April Fools, I get it. I don't know.
Oh,
Eric Stamboss wants to know if EPD has access to proper PPEs. Like I said, we've been getting things coming in from businesses. We do have masks. We can always use more. So if anybody has the N95s, we could sure use more. That would be really, really helpful.
dude, I got people texting me about your hair now. Good job.
Very, very, very quiet here today, George. Very quiet today.
You guys are doing a fantastic
We had a rough
job.
start.
Is right. I mean,
We had a rough start this
I'm all
morning.
thrown off. You know, for one, the whole barbershop
Sorry
thing.
we were late.
The whole barbershop thing really got me. I mean, Lamarcus, these guys. I mean, these guys. Who's cutting the governor's hair? I mean, has he got the Marines out there cutting his hair? No, someone's cutting these guys' hair.
He's using a phobia or something.
A Floby? You mean a Floby? Those are old
He
days.
probably has a barber with the face mask and gloves. Something like that.
I'll take it right
Like a
now.
surgeon.
Right now, I'll pay double. I get a haircut every 2 weeks, George, and it's really the gray. This fucking gray is bad.
You can still dye it, can't you?
Like Officer Drew. Drew used to dye his haircut. I didn't even know that guy was gray. I had no idea the guy was. Well, he's gray now, but I had no idea. He was gray.
I can trim up the sides for you if you want.
Well, I think it happens to the best of us.
I can get my PPE on and trim you up so I don't get too close.
Hopefully, guys. Hopefully, the chief stops down here in a little bit. I'm sure he has a lot of good information to say.
10:40.
10:40. He's coming down.
5 minutes.
Well, in the meantime, do you want me to keep talking, or do you have
Actually,
something
yeah,
to
you
say?
know what?
I thought you were in the.
You know what? Let me, real quick, dude. Can you stand up? Real quick, just stand up.
I'd prefer not to.
Oh, come on. Now, and ladies and gentlemen, Steve had no idea I was going to ask him to do this. But I'd like you to do your, move the chair back just a little bit. I know there are a lot of elderly folks at home that suffer from maladies like
I'm not doing squat thrusts.
arthritis and
You gotta be
joint
kidding me.
swelling.
You gotta be kidding
I
me.
want you to do your fish oil cheerleading kicks. Come on.
I'm
Show
not, Well, you're an idiot. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So I got
Tell
a
them about
little
your malady. Tell
arthritis.
them
I
about
got a
your
little arthritis in my hip. It pinches real bad when I try to walk. So I went to physical therapy. Lady over at Euclid Hospital, she hooked me all up with all this stuff, and then she told me that I gotta do this. I gotta swing my leg to lubricate the joint. He said it's good. And one of our Euclid firemen told me I should take fish oil. So apparently that's the cure for arthritis: swinging your leg and fish oil.
He came in the office the other day. He was so excited. He's like, guys, I got to show you this. I couldn't do this before, but look at this. Like there was a fire hydrant there or something.
Well, you know, when you're an athlete like I am, you know, things like this bother you. I got golf season coming around the corner, and I can't have these things holding me back.
Priorities. I understand.
I can't have them holding me back.
As long as you maintain social distance there on the course.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant. I appreciate it.
Well,
I appreciate
I'm
it.
happy you're feeling better, and I'm glad we could share that with.
I feel winded right now, though. I'm tired. Swing on my leg a couple times. All right, guys. Back to the script. Officer George, this is kind of aimed at you. I know that that the OHSA, the Ohio High School Athletic Association, has canceled all the winter championships. We kind of expected that was going to happen. Basketball and everything. And now the spring sports, your tracks, your baseballs and softballs, they're all in jeopardy right now. Chances are, if we don't go back to school, they're not going to play them. But Jerry Snodgrass, the president of the OHSAA, they've already started talking about possibly delaying fall sports already. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this or not. Officer George, he's the head soccer coach at North Ridgeville High School, where he lives out there, and a lot of times he brings the kids up. They help out with our PAL program. Sometimes it's a real good thing. How is this affecting your fall sports teams? Because I mean, they've got to be missing workouts and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is definitely tough. A lot of teams do a lot of off-season training, a lot of team stuff, weight room, just basically laying the foundation for what you're going to do. I mean, the season starts well before August 1st when that's normal cleared practices. We can't do that, but even come June 1st, you get your contact days where you're allowed to do set numbers of coaching working with the players. And like we just talked about, I mean, schools as of right now are closed through May 1st. So This pushes things back in a big way.
Well, I'm sure we have a lot of parents out there. Their kids are probably chomping at the bit to go do things that probably play. I saw a sign that said Euclid youth soccer signups were right here in April.
Mm-hmm.
Are there things that these kids can be doing? What are some things that some young kids could be doing at home to to get themselves ready? Because I'm pretty sure that we're going to have an abbreviated preseason, and if they do start this stuff, so these kids are going to have to be ready to go. What are some things that they could be doing at home?
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you one of the biggest things that they're not going to want to do, but is actually going to help them out the most is you guys need to get yourselves on a schedule again. Nobody wants to wake up as early as you used to when you're going to regular school, but you have to get up at a normal time, get a normal set hours of sleep. Get yourself 8-9 hours of sleep, and then get into a normal routine. If you don't get into that routine, by the time you guys wake up at noon, 1 o'clock, you guys are going to be groggy, you're going to feel lazy, you're not going to want to do anything, and you don't start to get your win into the late hours of the night. All the video games and all the free stuff, it's fun for a little while, but you guys are going to burn out after that. You got to get yourself into a normal routine. Yeah. You got to, be sleeping good. You got to eat good. Oh. That's going to give you the energy and the motivation to start taking the initiative to go do things. One of the huge advantages that this generation has that we didn't have in the past is YouTube, right? You can get onto YouTube and you can find, regardless of what sport you're playing, there's tons of different things that you guys can do to be able to find new workouts, find new skill developing tricks. What are people doing? If you're playing football, if you're playing soccer, if you do, I think they've got fall tennis.
Yep.
I think the girls play fall tennis, right? Guys play in the spring.
I usually play tennis. Only play tennis in the warm weather.
Got it. Well, and then you have golf as well, fall golf.
Yeah.
I apologize if I'm missing something else that goes on in the fall. I'm usually only wrapped up into one sport, but there's a ton. Basketball's a winter sport.
That's winter sport, Joel. Yeah, winter sport.
Sorry, not a sports guy.
Very well. So take the initiative, set yourself on a good routine, get after your own opportunities to be able to do things, and take.
Everybody stop.
Oh, hail the chief.
I'm way in the back.
Everybody stop.
I'm way in the
Ladies
back
and gentlemen, back again by popular request. We have Chief Meyer stopped in.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, let's move that out of the way. We're trying to keep separated the best we can. I just wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. Everybody's getting along. I know it feels like the world's a little bit upside down. Yes, they're checking my distance. But everybody here, knock on wood, is doing well. And we're getting along and trying to our best we can to kind of keep normalcy and business as usual. So I hope everybody's doing well and hanging in there. And I hope everybody enjoys this too. I think it gives everybody a little sense of normalcy. I hope.
We had a little technical difficulties at the beginning.
Rough start.
And it's like when Officer George says, when you get a schedule, then you have to go off your schedule. It's kind of throwing us a little bit here today.
I gotcha.
We're big on schedules.
Yeah, real big on schedules. Is it like any interesting questions, or is there?
Well, I know Kelly Sweeney's out there. She's talking people to go golfing, but only one person for a golf cart.
Okay, those are good recommendations.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I know Sandra Rakowski-Weber, she says Officer George is absolutely correct about schedules for these kids. They need to have schedules.
They do.
Yes.
It gives a sense of normalcy. I really think that's important. I do, because everything's kind of, a little bit off right now, and it'll get back on, but it's a little bit off right now. So the best we can keep those kind of schedules and things kind of that we can kind of enjoy some normalcy with, we probably should, and still work around the rules, because we will get back to we'll get back to normal again at some point. It just may take a minute.
Well, thanks a lot, Chief. What are you doing to keep yourself in your off time, to keep yourself from overeating and then kind of like what I'm doing right now, overeating and sitting in the house and watching television? What are you doing to keep yourself?
Well, I think it's important. I think it's always important, but I really do. I think it's even more important now that people are really trying to eat right. I'm sure that probably some others of you have talked about, maybe even Sergeant Barron. But I really do think it's important to eat right now, get sleep. And I do think it's important to exercise, either in your home or getting outside, social distancing.
Do some squat thrusts
Do
and
some squat thrusts and running, walking.
benders.
I'm telling you, the best thing for you mentally, physically, is just go out for a long walk. I really do. Put your headphones on, or if you're going to walk with somebody, it's kind of difficult because you're going to be distancing a little bit, but you certainly can hear each other. Others will hear your conversation, so I guess you should probably clean the conversations up. But you're going to be, from a distance, but I really do. And I think it's important. I want to keep the parks open. I know there's some question here in the state of Ohio, because I was out this week and everybody's really enjoying our parks, and I love our parks. I'm a huge supporter, but I just want everybody to still at the park do the best they can. Families need to kind of be conscious of other people around them and other people around them, and everybody kind of needs to keep their distance. There's plenty of space. If you're going to, on the trails, if you're going to stop and talk, you should probably step off the trail so that everybody can kind of get around you and keep moving and kind of keep their distance. But I think getting outside, getting fresh air, and being active is really important.
That's what I usually do when I go hiking. I make sure that people have room to get by.
Some like the benches, like to sit and watch others.
Just taking the scenery, right? Taking the air.
It probably feels good to watch people doing normal stuff. So
yeah.
I think so. But where was your guys' coffee? You didn't have your prop coffee thing
well,
here today.
it wasn't a prop coffee. It was really coffee.
Oh, okay.
This we have bagel buddies today. Diane hooked us up with some coffee.
Okay, well, that was really nice.
But other than that, I'm sorry you didn't get your free coffee, Chief.
No. We have our coffee here. I may. But yeah, I think it's just, I think everybody's looking for something that feels sort of normal, and they're looking for positive stuff. Just talking with the media and folks around the local media, I think it's important that they do stories on people that have had the virus and then have gotten better. I think it's important for people to hear those stories and not just get caught up in numbers and I don't know. So I'm hoping that we'll see more and more of that. People who've talked about it, who either symptoms were mild or those who had more serious issues with it, and then kind of hearing their stories on getting through it. So I think it's important for people to hear that and see that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that we'll see more like positive stuff.
We definitely need some positive stuff out there.
We do. There's still so much the good that's going on, and I have faith and hope, and prayer helps. I know that we'll get through this. So
Absolutely.
Just
Was there
take a minute,
question?
maybe.
No,
Regarding
people.
law enforcement
No, they're not law enforcement questions. Sometimes people just like to send questions to your phone that have nothing to do with what we should be talking about on the live stream.
I don't know. I said mine going off here. Is it?
Well, thanks for stopping down, Chief. I know you're busy, and
yeah, we're still, because for us, it's still kind of it is moving forward and business as usual, and officers are still responding to calls, and again,
well, that's the thing is we are still responding to calls.
Oh yeah,
there are calls out there,
and we're still getting those calls. Well, the call volume seems to be down, certainly for less serious calls. We still do. Our officers are still regularly responding to pretty serious calls for service too. So, keep that in mind too.
People, I noticed going. I went and assisted on a call yesterday, and the community is actually they seem to understand the rules too. Where they stepped out on their porch without they don't want us in their house, and we don't want to go, but they actually stepped outside and we kept our distance, and it I think that our community also is.
I do. I really am proud of Euclid. I mean, watching our residents and watching how giving ourselves a pat on the back to government and our residents. I think we're in our businesses. I think we're really being responsible. I mean, I've seen on the news and just outside of Euclid, some other municipalities aren't doing as well.
No,
their residents, and it's not about so much I'm blaming their residents need to be more responsible. Be more responsible and take responsibility for what they need to be doing. So, I think it's important. So.
Is there a question from Eric Anderson?
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Let me get down here.
I'm getting that tip that.
How did you get it?
I'm getting text messages.
I got one too.
I'm intrigued now because Eric Anderson and the chief have history together, and they not like weird history, but like good history. But I'm looking right now trying to find it. I don't see it. Eric, if you got a question, real quick, text my phone, and I'll be happy to ask the chief.
Sorry, we're trying to keep up.
I mean,
We're trying to keep up, guys.
I mean, I don't know what you guys have been doing, during your downtime. But I watched that Tiger King.
Oh, everybody,
What?
this Tiger King, absolutely. I know we're not here to any one channel or anything.
No.
This on Netflix. This
Yeah.
Tiger King is absolutely fascinating.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I couldn't stop.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about, George?
Oh, neither one of you have watched this yet?
Wait.
Oh, you have to see this.
You don't know
Have
what the
to see
Tiger
this.
King is. Do you live under a rock?
Fascinating.
Do you everybody in the whole
Very entertaining.
world
Mindless
is-
entertainment.
I'm
Mindless
not glued to a
entertainment.
TV,
All right.
man.
So you got this guy.
Wait, before you, did you hear that the sheriff's department in that area it's Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma.
They're reopening, or was it in Florida? They're reopening the investigation for the remember the one lady who was suspected, her missing husband. They're reopening investigation.
This guy, this meth head. Basically, they're a bunch of meth heads. They have this.
It's fascinating.
These zoos. I hate these zoos. I don't know anybody out there. I like animals.
I like them in the wild.
We should not have. They said the United States has more tigers in zoos, in captivity in the United States, than the whole rest of the world in the wild. There's more tigers in the United States.
There's more tigers, yes, in captivity in the United States than there are in the entire world in the wild.
Yes.
And
So-
and a lot of them they're not in like huge zoos.
So this guy, this Joe Exotic, he has two husbands. And he's a meth head. He got a mullet, and he sings country music like, "Oh, I saw a tiger. Tiger saw a man." So Joe Exotic has these tigers, right?
It's fascinating.
And this woman in Florida, apparently she's like an animal lover, but she's still got all her tigers living in cages too.
Weird.
But apparently, so she's trying to get Joe Exotic shut down. So she goes to all these channels. But in the meantime, they're saying that she killed her husband, ground him up in a meat grinder, and fed him to the tigers because he just disappeared.
That's
She got all
interesting.
these
Not
millions
from
of dollars.
us. Not from
I
here.
didn't say
That's
this.
not our
No,
answer,
no.
but you're based
No.
on this show. It's
And then there's this other guy,
fascinating entertainment.
Dr. Antel or whatever in Myrtle Beach. He has like all these wives. He pays them like $100 a week to work in this tiger show, and
It's fascinating.
you can't even make this stuff up. This is the craziest stuff that I've ever heard. You gotta watch it, George. Once you watch it,
You're addicted.
You'll be like,
I think there's 7 episodes. They're
Yeah.
about 45 minutes, 50
Yeah.
minutes apiece.
if you're not watching
You
this
will not
stuff,
be able to
man.
stop.
And they're all, and the guys in Oklahoma, man, they all talk. They didn't have no teeth. The meth made all their teeth fall out. And they say they did it. They said they all did meth and everything. That's why they're.
Again, we don't know this, but this
This is just
what's
what
reported.
Netflix says.
Just what
You see
reported.
that? 50% of the people that were watching this just turned it off to go watch Netflix now. Thanks a lot, guys.
They might have. It's
Are you kidding me? They've
fascinating.
already watched it, man. They've
A lot of
already
people have
watched
seen
it.
it. It's the
Yeah.
number one. I think the number one Netflix documentary right
Oh, yeah.
now. I think because it's just
I figured it'd be
it's
the
highly
Ozarks.
fascinating.
Oh, I haven't got to the Ozarks
Ozark,
yet.
they got their 3rd season.
Yeah.
That just
You've
came
never
out.
seen that? Is
Started
that
watching
good?
that. That's
This
pretty
Ozarks.
good.
I've never seen.
Pretty
it.
good.
Some good twists.
It's
pretty
pretty
dark. But
Yeah, it is dark.
it's,
Yeah.
it's got
Fifi wants to know why George is so silent today.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You feeling well?
We got off of his schedule.
He got off his schedule. His hair looks
We're,
great.
we're
Now,
rarely
he's
on a
back.
schedule, unfortunately.
Back to George's hair.
He does.
Jeez.
His hair looks
Hair.
amazing. Always does. Always does.
It's just water, Chief.
Ty says, George, you look like your dog just died. These guys are all- People really love you on this show, George.
I don't know why.
Well, we do.
Because we do.
Hey, the question that Eric Anderson had apparently is, what advice would you give a cadet aspiring to become a community policing officer?
Well, not even a community policing officer, but a police officer. Yeah, you have all these, Have they shut the academies down?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
okay.
have.
Yeah, they have. The best advice I would say is, I think for those people who are public service minded, I think that it's a great career, and what we're looking for too in candidates is really just people skills. I mean, that's the most important thing that we're looking for in candidates. A lot of those other skills that we can train and we can teach, but what we're really looking for is that person who's just really outgoing, really engaging, is able to use that power personality, to be able to get things done and work through issues. So that's really what we're looking for. Everything else, we can kind of train. That's That's difficult to train. So it's really those people who like people too, and people who like helping people, and are social and engaging. So I don't know. I mean,
that's why I do it, Chief. I just want to help people.
I get it, and you do it through this medium now. It's through the Facebook Live.
Well, that was a great question, Eric Anderson, and I think with that question, you're probably the winner of the day for the size 4XL large T-shirt. So I'll make sure we get that to you. You can pick it up at the station. And great question. Keep up the good work, and make sure your kids are doing their homework.
Absolutely. I feel bad for all the kids. Like I said, trying to keep a routine with school and doing the homeschooling, or not homeschool, whatever you want to call it, the virtual schooling. Extended learning. And I know kids too, they have weather's getting nice, they have a lot of energy, they want to get out. And I know as a parent it's difficult to kind of figure out what those boundaries are and where you want them to be, and trying to keep them out of groups, and and it's just tough.
Justine Taylor just asked, and we were talking about this before this started. She wanted to know, will there be summer programs like we did before, our summer programs? And I guess we're probably saying it's all up in the air right now.
Yeah.
To see what
we're hoping.
We're hoping to.
Now, Officer George had a great idea, because I know Safety Town is scheduled to start like the first of June. I know Matt Mezek over at this. If we're not open for business, we may be able to do like an online Safety Town, kind of like through Facebook, like this. So we're going to work with the people over at the Euclid Community Channel, and maybe we can do something like that online. But in the meantime, we got to hold tight and see what's going on and see where we go. Right?
Absolutely. We'll come up with something. We're pretty good at brainstorming. We improvise, adapt, and overcome.
We do.
Just like the Marines.
That's your old.
That's right. Just like the Marines.
That was my blood.
That's for sure.
Separate for those.
We do, and we do. We want to do our part to try to make things kind of feel normal for everybody.
Because I feel bad because we already, we have to cancel Hooked on Fishing. That's our,
and we love that.
That's our
the
favorite
kids love
program.
that.
I know. We're not going to be able to do it. Though.
I'll tell you
not
who's
just us,
going to be
there's-
impacted the worst is going to be the class of 2020.
Oh,
Class of 2020 is getting gypped in a big way because
I
these
know.
guys are missing out on everything. They're missing out on all those, the get-togethers.
Fun at the end of the year stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Part of
Prom
the
and
normal part of just
we might not even have
being
commencement. I would be willing to bet you that a lot of these
being a
schools
kid.
are not going to have
Well,
commencement.
I saw that I don't know what Euclid did, but I saw that Menor High School has back there. They have like an emergency date set back like August or something like that.
That's
to
cool.
try.
That's
well,
cool.
I mean,
Yeah, except
kids
for the
are ready
fact
to
that
go to
they're
college
already,
already.
they're
Kids are
leaving.
ready to
some
bail out
will
to
be
college.
just about to start college, and I feel that
Come
they're
back to
not.
get their diploma.
And that, look who's here! It's Captain Roller, and it looks like he's gone with the
Oh,
large,
yeah.
the extra large coffee.
I understand there's coffee in cups.
Yes, there is.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna say
don't know that
it's
I would be able to drink that whole thing.
It's that kind of day.
I'm going to have to put the tape measure up against you and the Chief right now.
I know, I'm trying. We're going to have to get a bigger venue for this thing. I don't know what to do. I swear, we're really trying our best here to do the social distancing. So, and everybody's really been really good about it. So,
Yes.
Well, before I know we're kind of running out of time here. I know that last week I mentioned a program. That Coach Rotsky had for his football players, and I couldn't remember the exact name and the information. But that program was called "Success Looks Like Me." If you go on in your Google search and you go under, just type in "Success Looks Like Me Symposium Euclid," it should pop up. Channel 5 News actually has a link you can click on, and they do a whole piece on the symposium. They mentioned that it was just professional athletes coming in. It's not just professional athletes. It's businessmen. It's people in media. It's African American males that have made success, have brought themselves up, made themselves successful. People in the business community, and they want to show the young kids that they can also do it also. So
That's a great mentoring program.
it's a great program. And so again, Success Looks Like Me. Type in Euclid, and you'll see the Channel 5 News link will pop right up, and you can go ahead and watch it. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Cool. You guys were talking about sports and the parks. I was talking to one of the nurses at the hospital, male nurses, at the hospital.
Can't talk. Well, you can't
That
talk
was
to.
for my wife's
You
benefit.
can't talk to a female nurse.
Guilty.
But,
Guilty conscience, Joe.
no. Anyway, he was saying he's a fisherman. He's a fisherman, and he hits the parks and the lake and stuff. And ODNR, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, has been coming through, and they've shut down boat ramps, and they're starting to separate these guys because it appears we got a lot of people out of work, and they're trying to get out and enjoy the nice weather and move around, and a lot of them are fishermen.
Okay.
And they're like getting crowded together on the piers.
So like Wildwood is
the
closed.
banks.
The boat launch is closed at Wildwood.
I'm not sure if
I don't
Wildwood
know,
is,
Dan.
but
Dan, you better check into that, Dan Sabota, because this fishing time's right around the corner, man. What are you gonna do?
So anyway, he was saying that he's kind of concerned that if people don't, if the sport fishermen don't get it and start providing some distance, that they're going to start shutting down the parks. So
Yeah, there's some word.
keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Keep that in
don't
mind.
distance even at the park. So
Well, I don't want them to cross my line anyways. I'd be like this, like in fishing. If I could touch
Get
you with
that
my
extended
if I
net.
could touch you with my rod, you're too close.
Absolutely. You know what? But to piggyback off what what Joel said, Sergeant Barron said, I do want to send a shout out to all medical folks. I mean, medical personnel, man.
absolutely.
There are heroes. The nurses, the doctors, all the therapists. I also want to send out that to everybody, the support staff at these medical facilities, the cleaning staff, all those people behind the scenes that do their part that's just important as everybody else's part. I want to send it out to all those clerks at these retail stores, at grocery stores, places like that. I mean, all of our cleaning folks, all janitorial folks for the job that they're doing that helps with this. And I think they're all my heroes.
They're
All
on
the
the front
truck
lines,
drivers,
man.
all the delivery people. They're amazing. They're our heroes. So I just want to give them a shout out.
Their infrastructure, they're on the front lines. I mean, tip of the spear. You know, a lot of admiration for you guys.
Before we wrap up, I know we had a block in here set for sports, but I don't know that we're actually
We'll go
going
as long as we want.
I don't know how much we're going to get to it, but I will say this: I'm kind of disappointed. The word came out the Olympics have been postponed until 2021. They use almost the exact same dates. It's going to be July 23rd, 2021, through August 8th. One of Euclid High School graduate, Jessica Beard, 2007, I believe 2007 graduate. She has not qualified for Olympics yet. So right now they have 6,000 people that have already qualified. I guess they're going to be grandfathered until next year. But we don't pick our track and field teams until after the U.S. trials. She has like 7 world gold medals, 6 or 7 gold medals, and but she's never qualified for an Olympic team yet. This was going to be her big year. She's putting a big push. So hopefully, Jessica, if you're listening out there,
That's Euclid's own.
keep it up. Get yourself ready. You're still young. You're still a young woman. We can definitely get it together for next year. I think our own track and field like this, and we can't go on. We think that the Olympics are going to be going on, so that's why they pushed it back. Keep it up, Jessica. Hope good luck with the trials next year, and hopefully you do it. Now, I know the Browns are set to unveil their new uniforms on April 14th. I feel like I'm constantly buying Browns uniforms, and whether you like the old school uniforms or the new school uniforms or whatever. If we just win, I think everybody will think our uniforms look great. If we stink, then our uniforms they'll be 3 years we buy another jersey.
They're good for yard work, working on your coach.
I know. I got 6 every 3 years. I feel like I got a new uniform. And you guys, I don't know, you people fans of Major League Baseball, I don't know what the season ticket holders are saying, but they delayed the start of the Major League Baseball season. They're trying all kinds of things. They're talking about having 80 games, double headers on Sundays. I like summer baseball. I don't like sitting in the middle of April watching baseball, but I know this is a big hit for our downtown businesses and everything. This is where they rely on. They rely on our businesses. So, other than that, there's not a lot of sports going on. I really,
It's tough.
I'm watching Lion King or whatever, Tiger King.
Tiger King. Oh yeah. Yes.
You gotta watch it, George. That guy, he's absolutely
We just went over it. It's a documentary on
He
Netflix.
crazy.
It is. He is one. He's very
I'm about to
entertaining.
play one of his songs for you.
Very entertaining.
Good, buddy. I'll stick with one thing.
Very entertaining.
Anybody have anything else before we
just going back to community news. And for those of you who are self quarantining, just kind of a glimpse of what's going on out in the world. If you're not able to make it to the drugstore, see rush hour these days. Not as many accidents. It's kind of like driving to church on Sunday morning. There aren't as many cars on the road. But I can tell you that essential personnel, a lot of them still drink Starbucks. Yeah, the line at Starbucks
Very long.
drive-through is still very, very long.
And Dunkin' Donuts too, as long as line in the city.
Yeah.
They crank it out. That's Sonny and his staff out there, man. They can really get it done.
Really, and when you're in these lines, try to distance from each other. I noticed the grocery, everyone's to bunch up with you. I'm like, back up a little bit.
Well, I went into the grocery store, and and the line to go through the checkout is huge. They got these big shields in front of them.
Yeah, I like that.
And there's nobody in the self checkout. Then I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna go touch that screen and everything else. And I do it anyways. And then I wash my hands. And I'm like,
Use a credit card, and you're like,
but. Hey, grocery stores, they got food back now. I was up at Sam's Club, they got toilet paper, but they take one only.
Yeah, everybody.
I tried to get ice cream and they wouldn't let me. Yeah.
There's no need to do that. There's others who need things too. So.
You don't need 2 ice cream.
Steve. No, because Kristen got a brand new blender. And I was making a
try this out.
milkshake and stuff, and I don't, you call us all.
a little vodka.
Whatever, put a little adult beverage. I haven't had any adult beverages in a long time, man. I've been trying to,
Oh, excellent. Look
stick
at
to
you.
this.
Look at it. Maybe it's time to make the positive changes.
I don't know. I feel like I
No,
don't know where to go. I was driving down the Babbitt Road and the golf course is open, and there's a big sign that says "No alcohol, please. We'd like to stay open." So apparently, even I guess people are bringing their own beer to the course or something like that, and you can't.
Yeah.
You can't bring your own beer, and they don't want to get shut down. So I said, please don't bring it. They don't want to. And then what do I do?
And one of those, be good to each other, be patient with each other. I know everybody. I get it, and everybody's just a little, edgy, and so just take that extra patience. Let that person, don't. It's not worth the arguing in traffic or in lines. Just allow those folks to pass or move or whatever. You got to take those extra courtesies, just not to get yourself riled up or excited and not cause any more issue or stress than there already is on everybody else.
Hey, Chief, Rhonda from Subway's been watching the whole time.
Okay.
Best employee in the city, best fast food employee in the city, Rhonda.
She is hardworking.
Hardworking.
She is.
Remember, I know you're watching, so
She
keep
keeps
up
it.
the good work. I'm glad you're back,
She
by the
keeps
way.
that store going,
She
Tony.
does.
Yeah, Tony,
Keeps that
she,
store going.
go for Rhonda, you wouldn't tap your business, so you got to keep Rhonda working there. And I think she knows.
It's good. I love our businesses.
Yes.
So we're hoping that everybody can weather through this and everybody kind of work together and make sure you remember your businesses. So, takeout and curbside or whatever, make sure you help them out.
Well, folks, we don't know when we're going to be doing this again next. We'll put something out on Facebook when we figure out what's happening. We'd like to take this show on the road, maybe actually go to our businesses when they finally reopen we can do our do a live stream from the business, and we can also have people come in and who knows, maybe you can be a guest, make a guest appearance on Coffee with a Cop.
Yeah, before we get out of here, just a couple more shout outs. Again, to you folks that are working from home, we greatly appreciate you taking a hit for the team. And every business, every government is struggling. We're trying to do what we can. We've got a lot of civilian employees here that they've changed their schedules so that they're working opposite shifts. We've got special units here that are doing the same. So you guys still have coverage, and we're still able to respond to your needs. But they're still doing the job. It's just not here, or it's not next door, or in the store. And Kate McLaughlin, again, she our community police specialist, big part of our team. She's working from home today too. Again, in the spirit of maintaining the social distancing. So again, thank you to all you folks that are doing that. And I also would like to add that we greatly appreciate the support from the community. Last Monday, one of our previous officers committed suicide, and there was a huge response from the community. We didn't mention it last Tuesday because it was just raw. It was just still fresh, and time and distance helps heal a lot of wounds. And Euclid Kime and his group came to the station and helped us out. We also had Jane Lewis, the board president for the Ohio chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. She reached out to me. She sent in some very nice, they call them healing packets, with some excellent resources for folks that would be considering something like that, or family members or friends that are recovering from that type of incident. Unfortunately, first responders, the percentage of that for first responders and for veterans, just compared to society in general, it goes through the roof. So please, if that's something that you're considering, reach out to someone. And if you're someone who sees somebody, maybe veering towards that path, say something to them. Say something to them. Maybe get pissed off, because it's not what's on your mind. But at the very least, they know that you care about. They know that you care about. They know that they care enough to ask. So, and to the Gauntner family, God bless you. We're so sorry for your loss.
Absolutely. Officer George, young lady, Dina Jackson, said the officer sitting on the right, and I don't know if I'm assuming it's you. She said you helped her many years ago, and she wants to say thank you again. I don't know what you helped her do, but you helped her.
Awesome.
That's a good thing. I appreciate that. It's as you said, I think a million times over. That's why we're here. Sincerely, that's why we do this job in the first place, and that's specifically why we stay in this community, because we want to be involved and we want to help people. So thank you for that. I'm glad. I hope things are well and you guys are healthy and safe.
It's a long list of people that George has helped.
What's that?
Long,
It's not that
long distinguished list.
I got to tell you, that chief, he's a smart guy. Huh? He's a good talker, that chief. All right. Well, everybody, thanks. Wait.
One direct message here. Katie Powell, we're not doing internships. I saw the message come across for obvious reasons. That's number one. And number two, you're allowed to call me direct, really, truly. You don't have to have your mom send me a text message.
I like Katie Powell.
Okay.
I like her, yeah.
I'm anticipating the next text message from Katie's mom.
Yeah. That's it.
And Lisa Lee, your grandson thinks Lisa Lee's grandson thinks we're all very cool.
Well, that's cool.
We are, because we are very cool.
I don't know what our own thing is, but
He doesn't have high standards. But
No. All right, everybody. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you soon with the next episode of Coffee with Cop.
take care of yourself and take care of each other.
or quarantine with a cop.
How you shut this?
I don't know how you do it.
I can't even see it.
I would need my glasses too.
Getting old times.
It is. I don't